Hello, you're watching Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel. I'm Chris Lee, joined by Jay Greeson. We're going to hit the nightcap here in the SEC. That is Tennessee, Alabama, which is winding down as we speak. Missouri and Auburn, which looks like it is going to overtime as we speak. Texas A&M and Arkansas, along with Texas, Kentucky, and I think we kind of touched on Florida, Mississippi State earlier. But anyway, Jay Greeson, we've had just a great night of football in the SEC. 2 games heading to overtime. And, where would you want to start here tonight?
We can start with the flowers. We can start with the sours. But I think the first place to start is if you know you have your guy as a head coach, and there are only 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe schools in this league who know they have their guy as the head coach, then you've got to wake up tomorrow going, okay, you know what? Win or lose, I believe in that guy.
And before we get there, we'll definitely have some coaching discussions. Reminder, we're brought to you by our friends at Game Time Sidekicks, officially licensed stainless steel drinkware, all SEC schools, 350 other universities, everything from stainless steel sippy cups, tumblers, 40-ounce bottles, and shaker cups, SC16. Get you 20% off your entire order at GameTimeSidekicks.com. You know how much we love their stuff. Also brought to you by the HOF app. Smart bettors rely on data. HOF hands you powerful analytics at your fingertips to tilt the odds in your favor, improve your chances of winning using historical data, matchup grades, trends, player performance insights. HOF was created by Ivy League sports geeks to let everyday fans bet smarter. For a limited time only, our listeners get a 7-day free trial. They also get 50% off their first month when they use code SE16 at checkout. Download the HOF app on Android or iOS, enter code SE16, and you are all set. Jay, let's start with the big one. Just ended seconds ago. Alabama has knocked off Tennessee 37-20. Ty Simpson again was fantastic. Big play in that game. If you didn't see it, Tennessee has got a shot to inch closer to Alabama just before halftime. 4th and goal from the 1. One of Alabama's corners just sits on a route, picks the ball, runs it back 98 yards for a touchdown. That's a 14-point difference. Ended up Alabama, I think, would have won the game anyway, but you take 7 off Alabama, add 7 to Tennessee, your final score is 30-27 anyway in that case. Instead, it is 37-20. That's how the game's played, a 14-point swing in that one right there. And I think that's a play call that's going to haunt Josh Heupel for a long time.
A play call, also a decision. Look, Joey Aguilar has been great, but if that's not there, you got to sling that in the stands.
Yeah.
So that was it. Hey, it was a tough night, and Alabama may be the best team in the league. I know Texas A&M will have a whole lot of conversations about what about us, but Alabama's playing better than anybody else not only in the league, but maybe in the country.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think right now your power ranking is kind of between who's the best team or maybe who's got the best resume. Those may be 2 different things at this point, although Alabama's resume is pretty darn good too. I'm thinking Texas A&M may be the best resume, but boy, is that 4 straight ranked wins for Alabama?
Yeah, without a bye week.
That's crazy.
Emotional game. Alabama was ready for it. An emotional game after an emotional game after an emotional game. After an emotional game. It's been 4 weeks now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's been 4 weeks since they played Georgia. and won in Athens, right?
Yeah.
They went winning in Athens, winning in Columbia, beating Vandy, now beating Tennessee.
That Florida State game feels like it was last year.
Well, it certainly feels like a different collective. I mean, last year is fair. Turn the page on everybody else because it feels like Mike Norvell put everything into that game because they've now been mediocre after, and Alabama sleepwalked into that game, and since then have been punching everybody in the face.
Yeah, and Ty Simpson, again, it's just typical Ty Simpson. I feel like that the passing line is almost the same every week. It's not going to be record-breaking numbers on the stat sheet, but it's plays he makes at the right time. They did have Jam Miller back tonight. He was ineffective. By the way, Tennessee had Deshaun Bishop, which I wasn't sure that was going to happen after the game last week. He was really good for the Vols, and Aguilar was pretty good other than that one pick.
He was, but look, Alabama was the better football team on the field. And Aguilar, good or bad, they needed great Aguilar, and he was not that. He made some mistakes, and they were painful. But the game turned on the interception at the goal line. I mean, after that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, we talk a whole lot about one or two plays being the difference in a football game, but this one was a gut punch.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you don't often see a play like that. It just changes it. I mean, again, a 14-point swing is just not something you commonly see. Like, if you'd said, all right, what's coming next? I don't think pick six was on anybody's mind. But I've said this, I think in all the offensive stuff for Alabama, I think that secondary has been overlooked. You hold Tennessee Knight to one touchdown, one pick, and 20 points. I think you're really, really happy with what you did.
Oh, yeah, I do too. I mean, look, Tennessee is toe-to-toe with Alabama, and if I'm a Tennessee fan, I would not trade Josh Heupel for Kalen DeBoer. And it'll be real interesting to see what Kalen DeBoer builds beyond the Nick Saban stable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, okay. But right now, I don't know if there's a team better than Alabama in the country, and that includes Ohio State.
Yeah, I mean, I think the discussion at this point is probably Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, because A&M's 7-0. We'll get to them in a few minutes. That's settled with Georgia because they won in Georgia's yard. Oregon, I think, and Miami would have been in the discussion until the last couple of weeks. And Oregon may be anyway. But, yeah, I mean, that's the list. The schedule ahead for Alabama, South Carolina, that's on the road. Don't think that's going to matter where that game's played. A bye week, LSU, that's in Tuscaloosa. Oklahoma, that's in Tuscaloosa. Then Eastern Illinois, and then Auburn on the road. And who knows what Auburn will be by that point. So, I mean, Alabama's going to be favored in every remaining game.
Yeah, they will be. And they should be.
All right, let's go next. Let's hit A&M, because that game was the shootout we thought it might be. Marcel Reed was great again. I just felt like half the night you saw guys running through the open field. A&M's defense may be a little bit of a concern, but Arkansas is putting up, seems like 400+ plus yards on everybody every week. Went over 500 tonight. But again, I think the difference, Reed threw for 3 scores and I think ran for maybe 1 also. And A&M just keeps on doing its thing, unbeaten, now past the halfway point of the season.
Well, I said this all week, and one of my bets was Texas Arkansas over, because I think Texas A&M has the most balanced offense in the league.
Yeah.
And when Le'Veon Moss and Marcel Reed and those 2 dudes on the perimeter can run around and make plays, you're going to have to figure out ways. I mean, in retrospect, you look back and Auburn holding them to 16 points.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe the testament that Auburn's got every bit as good a defense as Oklahoma does. I mean, so that group is great, but nobody, and I mean it, nobody wants to see Arkansas in the back half with Taylor Green, because you're going to have to score 40 to win.
Yeah, they're going to get somebody. I mean, between Green, their running game with Washington has been terrific. Yeah, I mean, they are still playing for Bobby Petrino. And I thought that game had a potential to be a danger spot. That game actually played out. This is a rarity. That game actually played out almost exactly like I thought it would today. The high point total, Arkansas keeping it close, you name it. Nothing today really surprised me there.
I thought it would have been a little bigger differential in score, but I expected a bushel of points. And look, man, I've been begging the Taylor Drum Green for a hot minute, and that kid can play. So, and in the modern era of football, where you got to be able to run and throw and be able to handle yourself in the pocket, Taylor Green's a dude now. A dude.
Are you watching Auburn and Missouri?
No, I'm trying to pay attention to this broadcast.
I know. Well,
I mean, no, you get to watch it over your head. You told me to turn it off my screen off the back.
I was afraid we were going to get flagged by YouTube. But
killing
here's what happened. I'm going to tell you. Missouri just did the most Auburn thing imaginable. It missed a field goal that would have won the game in overtime. Eli Drinkwitz was a good, 25 yards out into his jog, pumping his fist. We won the game. And then the ball went left. I don't mean to laugh at Missouri, but it just was funny to watch. Like he'd already bat flipped and trotted, 3/4 of the way through, to first before the ball missed the foul pole.
All right. Donovan just said Missouri kick was six inches away from Hugh Freeze being fired. I actually think Sunday is going to be a very busy day for SEC beat writers. I think, and I don't know if we're going to get into Florida, but I think Napier's done. I think Hugh Freeze is going to get a really rude text message in the morning because, well, we haven't got into it yet because the game's not over. What's next, point guard?
Well, I'm keeping an eye on Missouri, which has got the ball to start the next overtime. I guess we were doing the show. I didn't see how Auburn missed its chance at scoring in the first part of overtime. But that is Auburn football for you this season. Speaking of overtimes and field goals, did you catch Texas and Kentucky?
Yes.
That is one of the most dreadful football games you will see in the SEC this year. Texas had 171 yards of total offense. Kentucky should have won that game.
Yes.
Here's the Kentucky's got the ball first. First of all, the game's tied at 10. Texas kicks a field goal with just a little bit over a minute left. And you're thinking, okay, there you go. Well, Kentucky comes down, does the same thing, kicks one from about 45 in the final seconds of regulation to send it to OT. So you get to OT. Kentucky has it, I believe, first and goal one, and just keeps running up the middle against what is pretty much the heart of Texas's defense. When you got Colin Simmons and Anthony Hill, maybe not your best idea. So it gets to fourth and about a yard. It might have been a little bit under that. And Kentucky does the same thing. Just, I think, tried McGowan up the middle, and Texas stuffs it. And I get it. Okay, sometimes in overtime, you kick a field goal, the next guy can beat you with a touchdown. Again, I repeat, Texas had 171 yards in regulation. All you had to do is take a field goal there, middle of the field. It's less distance than an extra point. Maybe you win the game, but you didn't. And Texas kicked one in its part of overtime to win and save Sarkisian what would have been a super embarrassing loss in Lexington.
Look, man, we can talk all we want about all the talented pieces of all the Longhorns and the future NFL dudes, but
they can't move the ball. They can't move the ball.
No, they are offensively constipated is a compliment at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, and they've got dudes. They got dudes everywhere.
All right, if you were to name the top 5 teams in the league right now, top 6, your list is probably in the neighborhood of Bama, Georgia, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, Vandy, maybe Missouri, depending on the outcome of this game, but it's in that territory. What's the common denominator? All those teams can move the ball. All of them. You just cannot win in college football if you cannot move the ball better than Texas is right now. I mean, that's a brilliant statement by yours truly, but their inability week in and week out, and I guess they kind of broke out against – no, they didn't really break out against Oklahoma. They had 17 points if they don't get a pick 6.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You did not mention Tennessee or Arkansas, and I trust both those teams in their ability to move the football.
Yeah. Tennessee's got an argument in that conversation too, for sure. Tennessee's defense is just becoming a big issue. Anyway, you get my point. I don't know how it's gotten so bad in Texas.
I don't trust Oklahoma to move the football.
Well, I don't. I have some questions too, but at least they have a history of doing it this year, right? When Mateer was right and healthy, they were.
What's their high water mark?
Okay, fair point. Let's see. Their high water mark in points would have been 42 against Temple. Who cares? Actually, 44 against Kent State. Power 4 teams, 24 Michigan, 24 Auburn. 24 against Auburn looks pretty good, honestly. 6 against Texas, 26 South Carolina. So yeah, they're not on the level of those other teams. The defense is kind of what's carrying them.
100%.
But I mean, like, okay, if you're making the argument of teams that can win the league right now, maybe Oklahoma's not in that because of the offense. And my point was Texas is really not. Okay.
No, I'm not. Hey, I understand what you're saying, but I'm shooting holes into what you're saying.
Okay.
Because if you can be elite on one side and just be good on the other side, just be good. Because Oklahoma is elite defensively and good comparatively, and I don't know what's going on in overtime right now, and it's breaking my heart. This is like the hardest thing I've done work related in a long time, that I can't watch Auburn giving a game away. But Oklahoma's good enough to be a SEC champion because they're elite defensively and good enough offensively. You've got to mirror what your coach is.
Yeah.
And that's Brent Venables. I mean, Sarkisian, look, Texas is elite defensively, but this now falls in Sarkisian's lap. Because if we're going back to it, look, man, Kentucky's an also ran. And I don't mean that to offend anybody. But Kentucky's going to have this one game every year that they fight above their weight.
Well, let's put it this way. Okay. I think the easiest decision in our power rankings last week was putting Kentucky at 16. At least that was mine. And Texas needs overtime to get one there.
Well, that's a testament to the league. But I still think Kentucky's 16, and they'll be 16 come Monday on mine. But South Carolina's making a hard argument for it.
Yeah. Okay. Gut feeling. Texas is scheduled ahead at Mississippi State.
Win.
Vanderbilt and Austin.
Win.
Georgia and Athens.
Loss.
Arkansas in that one's at Texas.
Win.
Texas A&M in Austin.
Loss.
So that's what, 4 losses? Georgia and A&M.
Yeah.
And say I don't think they beat Vandy at home right now. Where do they get the points? Yeah. That's my problem with them. I think that the defense is unbelievable, but like if you put Auburn in Texas in a cage match to see whose offense could get out of there, who wins that one right now? I mean, that's a good question.
No, the best hypothetical question that was posed, somebody in the chat put, if Taylor Green was at Auburn, they're number 1 in the country.
Yeah, I mean, he might be right. I mean, they are. Those results look like Auburn hasn't been blown out by anybody yet, has it? Like, has Auburn had a game that wasn't decided I guess the Georgia game, when was that went over for good?
Hey, and I know there will be stats and whatever else and knock yourself crazy. Watch Auburn's defense. They
get after it. Yeah. You got a first rounder in the trenches, top half of the first round. By the way, the issue I had, I just don't want to get flagged by YouTube for showing video of an active game. If you want to take a minute and reposition yourself so you can watch this, be my guest.
No.
Okay.
I'm a professional, even if I am wearing my Auburn collared shirt.
Missouri has gone ahead in overtime with a touchdown, but it did not get the 2-point. No, JD, they're in double overtime. That's where you got to go for 2 every time. But by the way, Missouri losing its kicker in the opening game of the season, making a tackle, we've said that may be a place where our team really loses a game or two because of that, as close as the league is this year. If Missouri loses this one, you may go back and circle that one because they missed a very makeable field goal to send this one to overtime.
Well, Auburn missed multiple field goals. I mean,
well, and Auburn's kicking issue is different. They got a kid who got a horrible beat in life and still hasn't physically. I mean, he was down to 115 pounds?
Again, yes. God bless Alex McPherson and hope he everything works out tremendously well, but we're not going to compare sob stories on kicking comparisons.
I wonder if Blake's ahead of us here. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, he is. Oh, Jay. It's over.
Of course it is.
I think it's over. Is there a penalty? Oh, there's a flag. It's not over. Do we have a late hit? Or I think I saw a face mask signal. They dropped Arnold back, and half the city of Columbia, Missouri was in the backfield. He threw the ball to an offensive. Okay, that's the flag. He threw the ball to an offensive lineman. So Missouri wins at 23-17, setting up Vandy in Missouri in Nashville next week. It might be a game day situation. I know you don't want to make excuses as an Auburn fan, but I feel badly for you guys. We got a lot of Auburn fans in the chat, a lot of really good people, and I feel badly for you because if you have a bingo card of bad breaks, I think you've covered all the spots on the card at this point.
You know what? Sports is filled with bad breaks. So
That's true.
Go bleep yourself. Suck it up and be better. I mean, I said this on multiple interviews, multiple podcasts, in my column. Yes, I believe the call at the goal line against Georgia was wrong, but Auburn had 2 full quarters to go out there and answer it. Auburn had every opportunity. They are mentally soft. And if you're a mentally soft team, regardless of sport, that is on your coach. Period. End of conversation. So, no, if Auburn is serious about winning football games, fire his ass tomorrow. Period.
Yeah.
Period.
I want to get your thoughts on when you think that'll happen in a minute. And
tomorrow is when I think it should happen.
Yeah. Well,
no. Don't give me in a minute. Get me now while I'm fired up. No.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. This is inexcusable. Auburn has outplayed. They outplayed Oklahoma. Sorry, OU May or OU Bob or Bob May or whatever your handle is.
West May.
Hey, I get it. Oklahoma has a great defense. Auburn has wasted a team full of talent. And you know why? Because it has been coaching malfeasance. Fire his ass now. Fire him before we get to the press conference. Don't even let him go into the post game. Just say, you know what? Here's DJ Durkin, who's going to be our interim coach for the rest of the year, and then let him sign like some sort of NIL deal with DJ Durkin's pickles, and then next thing you know, we can like start recruiting in the portal. No, this is unacceptable. This team's too good to be 0-4. Auburn's 0-4 in the SEC for 4 consecutive years. For the last 70 years before this stretch, they were 0-4 in the SEC twice.
I got some thoughts on Auburn in just a second. Before we get there, reminder, we are brought to you by the Yearly Jewelry Company. And here's what you need to do. Get a head start on your Christmas shopping, Jay Greeson. For your wife, Yearly Company is a Nashville-based fine jewelry brand built on tradition, designed for meaning. Each piece is handcrafted from solid 14-karat gold and natural gemstones, made to measure for a perfect fit, backed by a lifetime guarantee. Every Yearly Company bangle is custom sized, so knowing your size is the most important first step before ordering. That's where the sizing kit comes in. It's the perfect place to start, especially for husbands who want to have sizes ready now. So shopping closer to the holidays is effortless. Use code SE16KIT. That'll take 100% off the sizing kit at checkout. Also brought to you by our friends at Rockform. They make the world's strongest magnetic phone case. I have dropped my phone in a rock form case many times, and you know what? It's like nothing ever happened. Rockform has extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock secure mounting. Get the vent clip for your car. I highly recommend that one. This is the busiest time of the year with new iPhone release. SEC 2.5 gets you 25% off at rockform.com. Also brought to you by Hovey Hats. My NFL team stinks. The Titans, they may not win a game the rest of the year. You know what? I'll wear this hat just because it's cool. I got 2 Titans hats from Hovey. They're my favorites. They'll be your favorite too. Look no further than Hovey Hats for high-quality headwear with a great fit and unique designs. That is HOVI drygoods.com. Enter the promo code BADBEAT, BADBEAT 15. Or excuse me, BADBEAT. That's the code alone. BADBEAT. Get 15% off your entire order. Jay Greeson. Can you read the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. There are times before the season where you just kind of know that a season may be headed in the wrong direction before it starts. I would argue that Auburn probably should have gotten rid of Hugh Freeze after last year. It did not. But I remember a couple times at Media Day. Okay, I'm in Nashville a couple of years ago, and there are 2 red flags that stood out to me. I watched Zach Arnett at Mississippi State speak, and I'm just like, this guy's a head coach? It didn't compute. I watched the Jimbo Fisher year when he was forced to, I think, turn play calling duties to somebody else, and someone asked him about hemmed and hawed for 3 minutes through a question. And you could tell he was not comfortable giving that up. Like, red flag. Remember the Hugh Freeze thing with 3 play callers before the season? I don't know. I'm with you. It's time to move on from him. Before the season, we had very different opinions on Auburn. And the thing is, Jay, you and I agreed on Auburn for the most part. We didn't see it any differently. We said the defense is good. We said the receiving room's got all kinds of talent. Yeah, you're right. I undersold defenses. Well, we thought it was good. What we didn't know is it was going to be pretty much elite. And here we are, and it's the same thing. Auburn's offense has been terrible under Hugh Freeze. He never takes responsibility for anything. And they should have pulled the plug on this a long time ago. I mean, it was starting to go bad at Ole Miss before the end, and he's not fit to coach at a big-time level anymore. You've got to be more of an adult than he's been. And I get it. They've had some bad breaks, and I do feel for them. But the writing's been on the wall for a while. Like I said, we agreed on everything. Where I drew the line is that I don't trust that guy to coach that team to any real achievement. You went with the talent, and I don't blame you, but that's
no. I'm gonna stop you there because Lane Kiffin has so many skeletons in his closet that it would make Halloween at Tim Legler's house look like a joy stop. No. I mean, there are a whole bunch of really bad dudes doing a whole lot of really good things coaching football. But this is offensive malpractice. I don't know what it is. I'm not holding Hugh Freeze's past against him. I'm holding Hugh Freeze's current against him. So
I am too. I'm not arguing with you. That's just another layer to it. I'm just saying, like, the guy's not had a good track record for coaching offense since he's been at Auburn. It is always something.
Hey, Jackson Arnold played his tail off today. This was Jackson Arnold's best game. And having watched it until overtime, and I'm actually happy I was doing this podcast and didn't watch the next chapter in Auburn Heartbreak because, look, man, my entire family walked away from the room when the Auburn game started because they knew this was going to end, and it was going to end badly. And it is what it is. But Auburn is wasting a playoff caliber defense. I mean, that group is relentless. And I mean, I don't even know what to say anymore. I mean, I ache for the rest of the Auburn family, but I'm trying to be objective here. I'm not saying Missouri is not a good football team. Missouri got outplayed today, and they found a way to win the football game. And that's an accomplishment for Missouri without question. And that is an accomplishment for your head coach. Hey, be proud of Eli Drinkwitz. Be proud of your path towards the playoff. You got your first road game. You win in overtime in a hostile environment. And Auburn was the better football team tonight.
Well, let's talk. Go ahead. I'll let you finish because I want to talk Missouri because I've got some things here I think that are notable.
Well, I mean, I challenge anybody to say that if you're a Missouri fan and you don't feel relieved walking out of that game, how it transpired, with the way everything went down, then maybe you didn't watch the game. I don't know. I mean, Auburn was a better football team up and down the field.
Thank you, Justin. He has given away 15 memberships. Big day for Justin. His Commodores won over LSU and are going to be moving up the power rankings. Missouri may be moving up too. I mean, there are a few teams in this league. The thing I always look for, like if you know they run a lot more plays than the other team, you're pretty sure that they're going to win. One's Alabama, one's Vanderbilt, the other's Missouri. Missouri been averaging like 80 snaps a game coming into Alabama. I think that's exactly what Missouri got tonight. It ran 44 plays, and it threw 40 times. It was 84. Now, they went to overtimes. That adds on some plays. But I thought for a long time, Bo Perbula just was not having a good night. When you can key in on Ahmad Hardy and not have to worry about the passing game, the protection was an issue at times for them. A lot of the night just looked like Auburn was going to win the game because, like you said, a lot of the night Auburn was the better team. But Missouri got a touchdown late on a Hardy run where he just broke the plane of the goal line, won it in overtime. Hey, it was not Missouri's best night. I think that the offense has struggled a little bit the last 2 weeks against two great defenses in Auburn and Alabama. But tonight, Missouri goes on the road. Even though Hardy had 24 carries, 2 scores, it wasn't a great box score line. Like if Auburn is going to hold Hardy to 58 yards on 24 carries, that's under 2.5 a pop. You feel pretty good if you're Auburn, except for the offensive part. And Missouri did just enough.
No, Missouri did not do just enough. Auburn did exactly what they're going to do under Hugh Freeze and find a way to lose.
Yeah, but let's come on. I think Missouri's, I've been saying this for a while. I've been on this hill. Missouri's a better team than people know. They are salty up front.
They are. No, Chris, I'm not in a million years backing on Missouri, but every Missouri fan in the chat will tell you they walk away lucky today. They not only did not play their best, Auburn gifted them the football game, which they have now done at Oklahoma. They're up a point, and they can't find a stop in a 2-minute drive. They get to a score game in Texas A&M. Texas A&M actually dominated them. Georgia, they dominated the first half, and they give the game, and they wilt. So, look, Auburn has as much talent defensively as any team in the country. And they just are just going to shrug their shoulders and let everybody else walk away with W's.
Well, but Missouri's got plenty of talent too. That front seven is salty. Jeremiah Trotter had another good night. Zion Young had a good night, a great night actually. 2 sacks tonight, coming off the game last week where he left a little bit out there with the penalties. I think this is a really, really complete football team. I mean, the passing game does worry me a little bit, and special teams worry me a bit from Missouri. But I think this is arguably a top 5 team in this league. And guess what? Missouri's going to come to Nashville with the game with Vanderbilt next week, where both teams, hey, the winner of that game is firmly in control of a playoff berth.
Without question.
Yeah.
And somebody threw it in much earlier in the chat. Does game day go to Nashville?
I think it does. I think maybe. I'd like to see what the other options are. By the way, Missouri, after tonight, still giving up what, under 250 yards a game total defense? I mean, that's pretty elite. I don't understand why more people are not talking about Missouri. Is Missouri a flawed team? And there's some things in there I'd like to see better. I just mentioned them to you. But they have taken care of business against everybody but Alabama. That one was still a 3-point game. Yeah, I get it. Missouri got a late score. Maybe it was a little bit more like a 10-point game, but Missouri had more offense in that game than Alabama did. This is a really good team that's not that far off from being unbeaten.
Yeah, but what's their best win?
Kansas and Auburn. Take your pick. One at home, one on the road.
And I'll say Auburn gift wrapped it. So they've played one game out of Como, and we'll see. And I have always been adamant about making certain there's transparency in the room where folks decide. But if your best 2 wins are an Auburn team that is floundering on the road and a home win against Kansas, I don't know how good that resume is by comparison.
Okay, let's see. We touched on Texas a little bit. Texas, Kentucky. We talked Mississippi State, Florida earlier. We just hit Missouri. I think if we hit everyone today. Blake, tell me if we've missed somebody. We hit Tennessee off the bat. All right, I think we've got everybody. Let's go to the medal stand. Jay, tell me if you got any issues with it. I'm going players of the day. I'm going gold medal, Diego Pavia, Vanderbilt, 14-20, $160, 1 touchdown, no picks, 17 for 85, 2 rushing scores. Bronze, I'm going Gunnar Stockton, 26 of 31, 289, 4 touchdowns, no picks, 10 rushes, 59 yards, a score as Georgia beats Ole Miss. And I'm going Marcel Reed. I know that Arkansas's defense is no great shakes, but he goes 23 of 32 for 280, 3 TDs, no picks, 6 for 55, and a score rushing. In any issues with the medal stand?
My medal stand gold is Alabama because they continue to flex their muscles and do everything to look like arguably the best team in the country that's not named the Ohio State. Silver, I'll go Gunnar Stockton, who, man, that kid in the second half made play after play after play. And bronze, I will go everybody who bet over in Texas A&M, Arkansas, because that cash money in a whole lot of directions.
Yeah, teams, I'm going to go gold, Georgia, by beating Ole Miss, knocking Ole Miss from the ranks of unbeaten. Vanderbilt, big win for the Commodores today, beating a top 10 team in its building in LSU. In the game I was there for, thought that was a terrific game. Bronze, I'm going to go Alabama, winning the rivalry game, winning it decisively, and leaving the week is maybe the best team in the league. So other stuff of note tonight and this weekend, these things affect the playoff chase. Louisville beat Miami last night. You probably know that. Georgia Tech beat Duke to stay unbeaten. I think Notre Dame has just knocked off USC during the course of this stream. BYU beat Utah. They stay unbeaten. And so we'll break that all down when we get to Monday. Or actually, I think we'll do our playoff show Tuesday. So we'll incorporate how all that factored into everything. Anyway, been a late night for us. Been a late night for you guys. Thank you guys for being here. We'll have power rankings on Monday. For Jay Greeson, I'm Chris Lee. You've been watching Southeastern 16 presented by FanDuel.